Okay, let's dive right in. There's this, frankly, incredible offer swirling around.
Yeah, really hitting the headlines. For a huge star, Manchester United's captain, Bruno Fernandes.
Exactly. Imagine this. You get an offer to basically triple your salary, which is already massive, and a club, Al Hilal in this case, is supposedly ready to slap down $100 million just for your transfer.
It's the sort of figure that just, well, it stops you in your tracks. 100 million plus potentially world-beating wages. You have to pay attention.
Absolutely. And so our mission here in this deep dive is to really unpack this specific situation, but based entirely on one source. A report from Sky Sports News about Al Hilal going after Fernandes.
Right, just sticking to what that report says.
Yeah, we'll lay out the huge numbers involved, explore the perspectives that are reportedly coming from, both clubs, the player maybe.
And the manager, importantly.
And the manager, yes. Plus, how a reporter who watches these kinds of moves closely analyzes it. But again, strictly through the lens of the single Sky Sports report.
The goal is just understanding the picture Sky Sports is painting here. What forces are at play, according to them.
So let's start with the core offer itself. What are the specifics Al Hilal are reportedly putting on the table?
Well, the report seems quite clear on this. They're willing, apparently, to pay Manchester United $100 million.
$100 million, okay.
And then for Fernandes himself, they're prepared to make him one of the absolute highest paid players globally.
And how does that reported wage compare to his current deal at United?
The report says it involves nearly trebling his current wages, which are stated as £250,000 a week.
Trebling, $250K a week.
Oh.
I mean, as the reporter cited later calls it, that's genuinely life-changing money, isn't it?
It absolutely is. A massive financial incentive.
So, okay, that's the offer. What about Al Hilal's side of things? What does the report tell us about their approach, their perspective?
Well, there's a key detail mentioned. Fernandez's agent, Miguel Pino, has actually been in Riyadh.
In Riyadh, okay.
Yeah, for talks, apparently, with senior Al Hilal executives.
And that's significant because the report notes that insiders in the Saudi Pro League see that visit. They see it as a positive sign for Al Hilal.
It suggests serious intent, doesn't it? And the report adds something quite telling about Al Hilal's mindset.
Okay.
Their belief, reportedly, is that every player has a price.
That kind of says it all about their confidence, maybe. That the right number unlocks any door.
It certainly frames their strategy. The report also tries to give this context, mentioning Al Hilal's other activities, like they apparently held talks about signing Cristiano Ronaldo before.
Right. I remember that being reported.
And they're also trying to get Simone Inzaghi from Inter Milan as their head coach.
So this isn't happening in isolation. There's a bigger picture.
Exactly, and there seems to be some urgency driving this. The report points out they need big names and a coach lined up for the Club World Cup in June.
Ah, the Club World Cup deadline. So the clock is ticking for them, as the report says.
That seems to be the implication, yes, adds pressure.
Okay, so that paints the picture from Al Hilal's side, based on this source. Now let's flip it. What about Manchester United? And crucially, the player and the manager's perspective as reported.
Well, the report states it pretty directly. Manchester United want to keep Fernandes. Full stop.
Right, and it includes comments from the head coach, Rúben Amorim. He was asked specifically about Fernandez's future, wasn't he? What did he say?
Yeah, when asked if Fernandes had played his last game for United, Amorim reportedly said, "I do not think so."
I do not think so.
But he added a bit more nuance, saying, "I do not know for sure. Nobody knows, but I do not think so."
Interesting phrasing. It's not a flat no way, is it? It's a bit more careful. What else did he apparently share about his talks with Bruno?
He said the feeling he gets from speaking with him is that Fernandes wants to stay.
A feeling. Okay.
And he also reportedly mentioned that Fernandes is saying no to a lot of things, which could suggest he's turning down other approaches already.
Right. And Amorim's view, according to this report, is that Fernandes is driven by winning.
Yes, that he needs to be in the best league in the world, which is quite a contrast to the reported financial offer from outside the Premier League.
It really highlights that classic tension. Sporting ambition versus financial reward.
Exactly. And Amorim reportedly doubled down on that, saying United can find another way to earn money besides selling Fernandes for 100-pound meters.
So the message reported from Amorim is clear. Keeping the player is the priority, more than the fee.
And his reported conclusion was quite strong. The feeling that I have every time I speak to him is he wants to continue for sure at Man Utd.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay. The report also gives us some facts about his current situation at United, right? Contract, age.
Yeah, it mentions he signed an extension just last summer, keeping him there until 2027 with an option for another year.
So he's locked in for a while.
Pretty much, and it notes his age. He'll be 31 in September. Just context, perhaps, for his career stage and value.
Okay, so we have this almost unbelievable offer reported. Al Hilal pushing hard, maybe because of the Club World Cup deadline.
Then you have United and Amorim reportedly saying, we want him to stay, and Amorim expressing a strong feeling the player wants that too.
Right. So how does the Sky Sports chief reporter mentioned in the piece, Kaveh Solokol, how does he reportedly read this whole situation?
His take, as presented in the source, is pretty decisive, actually.
Oh, yeah?
He believes Bruno Fernandes is staying at Manchester United.
He thinks he's staying. And why? Is it based heavily on those Amorim comments?
It seems so. The report highlights that Solokol found Amorim's words significant and more revealing than just a standard manager talk denial. He felt Amorim gave quite a lot away.
He sort of read between the lines of the manager's reported statements.
Exactly. And the report says he even sketched out this hypothetical conversation he imagines happened.
A hypothetical. What was that?
Well, the reporter pictures Fernandes acknowledging the sheer scale of the offer, like, I've won Euro millions, life-changing money. But then, in this scenario, the reporter imagines Fernandes follows up saying things like, I'm not motivated by money, I love football, I love Manchester United, and that he sees himself as an integral part of the rebuild there.
So the reporter uses that hypothetical within the source to illustrate why Amorim might feel so confident despite the huge money.
Precisely. It's his interpretation of the dynamic presented in the report.
And what's the reporter's final verdict, according to the source?
Looking at Amorim, hearing him, Solokol reportedly concludes it seems pretty clear and final that Bruno Fernandes is going to stay.
Pretty clear and final. That's strong.
It is, and the reporter apparently reiterated that point about Al Hilal's deadline. The clock is ticking for the Club World Cup, maybe adding to the sense that this is their big push now.
Okay, so let's just recap what this Sky Sports report lays out for us. You've got this absolutely breathtaking financial package reportedly offered by Al Hilal.
Driven perhaps by their own urgent need for stars before a major tournament.
Then on the other side, you have the very clear reported desire from Manchester United, and especially from the manager Rúben Amorim, for Fernandes to stay put.
And that desire is backed up by the manager's reported feeling, based on his conversations, that the player himself wants to stay, valuing ambition in the Premier League and his role at United.
It really sets up that classic transfer window dilemma, doesn't it? Based purely on this report.
It does. Huge money versus reported loyalty, ambition, and the manager's belief.
Exactly. So, thinking only about the information presented in this one Sky Sports report, here's something for you, the listener, to mull over. In this high-stakes world of elite football, when an offer is described as life-changing money, genuinely transformative wealth, how much weight do things like reported feelings of loyalty, a stated ambition to play in a particular league, or a manager's conviction about his players' desires? How much weight do those things really carry when the final decision gets made?